Number 15. See together. When you see a ghost, you're going to want other witnesses to prove that you're not just seeing things. Do not go out on your own. Always take along a ghost hunting partner or an entire group whenever you head out searching for ghosts. The experience might prove to be more sinister and life-changing than you ever imagined, and you're going to want to have people around you who believe you and understand the experience as well. Believe it or not, you may need some support after even the most minor of dealings with the paranormal. You'll also appreciate a second set of eyes, confirming your story to non-believers. Not only will you want to bring a friend for support during the aftermath, but you might need him or her to keep you safe during the sighting. There is strength in numbers. Ghosts are unpredictable, and fear can freeze you or make you do stupid things. If, for any reason, you experience this fear, having backup is better than being all alone with the ghost. Number 14. Know the signs. As well as knowing the types of ghosts you may encounter and the tools you'll need, you should read up on common signs that you're being visited by the paranormal. We'll go over some of these key indicators. Animal reactions. If your pet seems to react to thin air, don't just assume he or she is behaving inappropriately. Animals are sensitive to the beyond, just as we are. Take their behavior into consideration when you feel there may be a ghostly presence nearby. Unexplained sounds. These are most common of poltergeists, but many ghosts can exhibit behaviors that make a whole lot of noise. The sounds usually begin subtly and quietly, but slowly gain traction as the ghost insists on you being aware of his presence. These sounds include knocking, footsteps, scratching, banging, and other more sinister noises. You may also hear inexplicable crying, moaning, or whispering coming from a specific area of the haunted house or building. Electronic malfunctioning. Ghostly interactions sometimes correspond with malfunctioning electronics. We're talking lights switching on and off, or light bulbs going out altogether, TVs and radios going to static, increasing in volume, switching channels, or turning on and off without explanation. Cold or hot spots. Throughout haunted areas, it's been well documented that cold and hot spots are quite common. When temperatures fluctuate drastically in certain areas, this may indicate that the paranormal is present. Moving items. Whether it's furniture moving around unexplainably, items of loved ones appearing out of nowhere, or everyday items disappearing and reappearing without explanation, doors, drawers, or cupboards opening or closing, or even objects levitating, these are all stark indicators that a ghost is near, and likely one with a negative energy. Smells. Certain scents, fragrances, or even odors may emanate from a haunted environment. This suggests that scent was strong in the living person, or in that person's inevitable demise. Feelings. Don't ignore your feelings. If you're sensing that something has brushed past you, or nudged you, or that you're being watched, always trust your gut that such feelings may mean something. Peripheral visions. Often spotting shadows out of the corner of your eye can be an indicator that something is around you that shouldn't be. Number 13. Go to the ghosts. Of course, to see a ghost, you must find a ghost. The best way to do that is to go to the ghost's favorite haunts. We're talking haunted houses, haunted hotels, graveyards, old psych wards, decrepit hospitals and schools. Think ancient locations. Historical sites of dark pasts and horror are your best bet to catch a glimpse of a ghost. Some of the more famous haunted sites in America, for instance, are the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, a haunted hotel that Stephen King based The Shining on, or the Eastern State Pen in Philadelphia. The old lockup is no longer occupied by the living, but it's said to be haunted by the inmates that once clanged against those cells. You could even consider going international. Victoria, Australia's asylum will be sure to drive you crazy. The facility operated between 1867 and 1995, during which more than 9,000 patients passed there, some in mysterious ways. Or try out Leap Castle in Ireland. The Luck of the Irish is sure to bring some of the horrible history of Leap back from its grave, as many were locked up there and met their fate. You might even fly over to this haunted home in Rose Hall, Jamaica, where a voodoo priestess once lived. She still haunts the place, and if you follow this tip and go to the ghosts, you may just run into her. Number 12. Get equipped. Apart from a camera, you'll want to be well equipped for a ghost hunt. Most ghost hunting teams take along abundant equipment for their adventures, so the following is the short-listed supplies you might consider stockpiling for your own private ghost hunt. First of all, you're probably an amateur ghost hunter, so you don't have unlimited funds for such things like top-notch audio recorders, video cameras, and digital laser thermometers. Unless you're planning to become a professional ghost hunter, affordable equipment will be your go-to. Let's start with the basics. Your mobile phone to call for assistance if needed, a flashlight, batteries, comfortable walking shoes and clothing, and a pen and paper to jot down paranormal notes like the feeling of the space, the temperature, and any other abnormal happenings. Next, you might even consider bringing an audio recorder of some kind. Even those on the cheaper end will be better than none at all, as you're going to want proof of your experience, but obviously a higher quality recorder is preferred. If you have a decent bankroll, spring for some of the gear that the big names use. Ghost hunters on the Sci-Fi Channel, Grant Wilson and Jason Hawes, shared their expert opinions on some of the best ghost hunting gear to keep in your tool belt with tech source PC Mag. Griffith adds that most of the equipment used on the show is simply to monitor the environment, such as barometric pressure, temperature, changes in wind or static charge, and electromagnetic fields. It is not normal for any of these environmental conditions to change drastically in a short amount of time. He told PC Mag, "We have found that when this happens, paranormal activity is underway. This high-tech and rather more expensive gear includes thermal cameras, motion detectors, laser grid scopes, full spectrum cameras, EMF meters, EVPs, and special infrared probe thermometers. Here's how each of these things help you see ghosts." Thermal cameras offer a visual of cold and hot spots in any given area. This will help you see where the ghosts might be hanging about, invisible to the human eye. Motion detectors obviously detect motion in the room. If you're not moving, then what is? Laser grid scopes cast a grid of green dots via a laser across a given field. This allows you to spot upsets in pattern, showing you that there's something amiss in your midst. Full spectrum cameras offer viewers a near ultraviolet, near infrared light. Having an all-encompassing visual is essential to seeing every angle and every ghost. EMF meters measure electromagnetic levels. When a fluctuation registers on an EMF meter that isn't within the normal range, ghost hunters consider this to be an indicator of paranormal activity. EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, are high-tech microphones that capture sound not within our normal human range. Infrared probe thermometers measure the room's temperature and register cold air pockets. If the temp of a spot sinks by 10+ degrees, this may indicate a ghost is present. With all of these tools in your tool belt, you'll be sure to know whether a ghost is present, which will allow you to call it forth. Number 11. Get your camera ready. Considering ghosts don't always take on the corporeal form, and the lighting of a haunted place may not make for the best sighting in the moment, photographs may be the primary method by which you see a ghost. Many have taken photographs in haunted places, only to find that they've captured apparitions that didn't appear to them in the moment for whatever reason, but did appear in the film thereafter. So if you head out on a ghost hunt, don't forget to take along a high quality camera and a mega gigabyte memory card that can hold thousands of photos. While there, snap as many photos as possible. Leave your cell phone camera at home. The resolution sucks, and you're likely to capture plenty of false ghostings with its terrible optics. Once you get your camera home, examine your images with a focused but skeptical eye. As any photographer will tell you, cameras are not perfect, and artifacts develop on lenses. That doesn't mean you've captured the paranormal on camera, but you may just be in the right place at the right time to capture a shadow person, a corporeal ghost, or the energy that you're looking for. Number 10. Know your ghosts. The concept and appearance of ghosts date back to antiquity. 8th century BC Homer describes ghosts as a vapor gibbering and whining into the earth. Ghosts often manifested in transparent forms, like vapor, in classic literature, while on other occasions, they might appear corporeal. In modern times, this type of ghost is called the interactive personality or other familiar entity. This is the ghostly form that most of us picture when we hear the word ghost, because it takes the shape of a living person, same personality, mannerisms, etc., though slightly transparent and discolored. But there are more uncommon ghosts that take other forms, and if you're not ghost savvy, after happening upon one of these, you may not even know that you saw a ghost. For instance, ectomist and ectoplasm is the vaporous cloud often written about in ancient texts. It floats above the ground in a gray, white, or black orbital mist. This indicates that a ghost is present. Similarly, orbs are ghost indicators as well. They hover above the ground in a ball of light that's transparent. Sometimes they aren't seen in the moment, but rather afterward. In photographs taken during a ghost hunt, these orbs are considered to be the souls of the departed. You might also sense a poltergeist, but you'd probably hear it rather than see it. Poltergeist actually means noisy ghost, although it's not often seen in a physical form. It's the type of ghost that wreaks havoc throughout the home with loud crashes, slamming doors, stomping or knocking noises, the flickering of lights, etc. If you don't see it in and of yourself, you'll at least experience its misdeeds. Ghost sightings also commonly have this thing, which is like a heat air wave. This air wave is aptly described by blogger Amanda Lynette Metter. The energetic vibration and density of a spirit is different than that of beings and things in the physical world, including air, she writes. So seeing a change in the density or texture in the air around you is most common. Metter suggests that ghosts may appear as visual snow or a fuzzy air heat wave that manifests in a haunted space and travels around the area. The heat wave is most often seen in low lighting, so dim the lights to observe the ghostly energy. The point is, ghosts and spirits can take many forms, so before you head out in the hopes of spotting the classic ghost, all transparent and human-like, consider other ghostly shapes. Be educated in the visual energies of a ghost. Be aware that you can also see either full or partial apparitions, or via your peripheral vision. Be on guard and trust your gut that what you're seeing is what should be believed. Number 9. Go on a ghost hunt. For those of us who would jump at the chance to see a real-life ghost, the best way to see them is to seek them out. Most of the time, ghosts just don't appear to you unless you're the proud new owner of a house that was built on a graveyard, or someone has accidentally gifted you with a cursed doll. It's unlikely that you'll be handed the right set of circumstances for sight. So, like the rest of us ghost hunters, you'll have to take charge of putting the right circumstances into place. One way to do this is to go on an actual ghost hunt. What's a ghost hunt, you ask? For those who are inexperienced regarding paranormal happenings, a ghost hunt is often led by an actual ghost investigation team who specializes in communicating with the spirits among us. They know where to go, what to bring, how to open up opportunities for sightings. These groups are all over the country, and they often hold public events. If you've seen TV shows like Unsolved Mysteries, Paranormal Files, or Ghost Hunters International, you'll probably know what this kind of investigative team looks like, as well as some of the gear they use. But don't get your hopes up. While there are no statistics on the matter, I'm guessing the success rate of a non-televised hunt won't be as seen on TV. Number 8. Research. Are you trying to find out the potential of a ghost viewing in your own home or in a location near you? Good, because that's what you should be doing if you want to see ghosts. Research your locale to take an educated guess at where potentially haunted sites may be. Think unusual facilities, places, etc. Any circumstances which might leave a soul in limbo. Don't forget that the most common haunted places are graveyards, forts, houses, and schools. Of course, you'll want to first take a look at locations where paranormal sightings may already have occurred. At what time were these sightings reported? If there's a specific time or date that sightings tend to crop up, plan your ghost hunt around them. Also consider town gossip. If there are rumors of strange and sinister events and ghost sightings, these rumors might be based in fact. Investigate your local legends, purported haunted houses, and seemingly mythical ghost stories. While some might be more fiction than fact, others may hold truth. The truth is where you should begin. Number 7. Bring the ghosts to you. While visiting the ghosts yourself is all well and good, sometimes you get tired hunting around for phantoms. Instead of chasing after vapor, call the ghost to you using seance techniques or a Ouija board. Communicating with those who have passed can be touch and go, but contacting the afterlife through a Ouija board has a proven track record. But beware, the Ouija board has been known to call forth some aggressive and frightening spirits, and while you may not see a corporeal ghost, you may sense the spirit's presence through cold spots, paranormal activity in the room, and simply through the movement of the planchette as he or she speaks to you through the letters on the board. Number 6. Be sensitive. You have to sense the ghost with your whole body. Feel them. Open not only your eyes to see, but every molecule in your body. Only then will you sense a ghost's presence. If your body and senses are shut off to the ghost, you may not register their activity at all. Smell the air. You know what we said about odd and out of place fragrances or odors. If your nose catches a whiff of something unusual, it may be a scent from the afterlife. Listen for any sounds. Rumbling, whispering, murmuring, rustling, any noise that could mean paranormal activity. Even if you don't hear the ghost in the moment, if you've taken the earlier tip of ours and brought along your audio recorder, then you might just hear it on playback. Be aware of the sense of touch. Do you feel something rustle past you? Do you sense a cold spot? A warm spot? What is that tingling sensation up your spine? If you turn up the volume on your senses and see with all of yourself, you're more likely to get what you asked for. Number 5. Be careful while viewing. When you're in the presence of a ghost or ghosts, protection is a must. While not all ghosts are demons, protecting yourself from any evil spirit that may cross your viewfinder may be the difference between whether you make it through the night or become one of them. One way to protect yourself is through the use of certain gemstones. Emeralds, agates, black onyx, black tourmaline, labradite, and peridot are some that paranormal experts vouch for. Black tourmaline is the most powerful shield against all evil. Next, using certain herbs that can deter the demon spirits. The herbs in question: anise, basil, cocoa, cayenne, chamomile, clove, cumin, dill, fennel, and sage. If you find your home is haunted with malevolent spirits, these are also advised for cleaning and protection against possessions. You can also cleanse your space and your aura for protection. You can do this by sprinkling some holy water around your home and burning sage incense to cleanse your aura. Practice yoga, burn white sage, and spend upwards of 15 minutes in the sun every day. Number 4. Meditation. Once you're safe and cleansed, open your senses through meditation. Pick a quiet, tranquil spot where you can be at peace. Sit down, get comfortable, and meditate seriously for some time. Focus on your breath, calm your body. This calm will lead to an openness that invites spiritual contact. By relaxing your body's muscles and clearing your mind, you'll also be freeing up your senses for that spine-tingling sighting. And remember what we said about the senses. You must be sensitive to pick up on the sometimes subtle movements and behaviors of the ghost. You will also awaken your third eye, which we'll discuss later in this top 15. Number 3. Sell salt. This is a tip to seeing ghosts according to Chinese tradition. Take a decent amount of salt and mosey on over to your local graveyard. Sometime before midnight, place a mat on the ground somewhere in the yard, put the salt on the mat, and wait. When midnight rolls around, you'll experience something that will make you a believer. Ghosts will come along, stretching out their ghostly hands to buy salt from you. Do not look up at the ghost, just place a pinch of salt into one of their outstretched palms and shiver. It is said that if you look directly at the ghost, you will be cursed and terrible things will happen to you. If they're buying the salt, shouldn't you be paid for it? Yes, of course. Some say that the ghosts will pay you in hell money or other random trades. When the sun comes up, these trades will convert into real money. If you make it until sunrise, pick up your mat, whatever remains of your salt, and march out of that graveyard. Don't look back. Number 2. Don't believe. I have advice for you. Be skeptical. Think about it. In nearly any scary movie or real-life ghost encounter, the most skeptical of the bunch is the one who gets it the worst. They always say, "I didn't believe it before, but I do now that I've seen it with my own 2 eyes." This is true of anything paranormal. When you don't believe, you may be the one a ghost chooses to show himself to, just to prove he exists. Even more importantly, skepticism makes you less vulnerable to possession. Those who believe strongly in demonic possession and dark spirits open themselves up more to being taken over by them. You want to see a ghost, sure, but you definitely don't want to cross the line into something darker. So carrying around a fair amount of skepticism will serve you in both cases. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT with underscores instead of spaces. I also have a Twitter at YT_chills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. Also, I recently created a subreddit where you can submit videos and stories for future lists. It's r/chillsnarrator and the link is in the description below. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos we upload every Tuesday and Saturday. If English isn't the only language you speak and you're interested in getting a shout out, click more, then add translations. By translating the video, not only will more people be able to watch it, but a link to your channel will be added in the description. Number 1. Use your third eye. We all have a third eye, and using it is one way to see spirits with your mind. You may be asking, what is the third eye? It's stronger than your physical eyes because your perceptions and intuition are stored there. The third eye can not only see the energy that lies before you, but also that which lies behind. It holds this vision in the form of a memory. These images can appear before your very eyes as though you're physically seeing them, but actually they're spirits of your memory and how you remember and envision things. When it comes down to it, every human being is a spirit. We carry around our spirits within our corporeal bodies. That doesn't necessarily mean every human being is or will be a ghost. Those spirits who remain even tentatively on Earth only stay because they are attached materially in some way to the space between the physical realm and the non-physical. You really must work to open this third eye. It's easier in youth. As we see with our eyes wide open, our intuitions are stronger, and we don't have so much conditioning. When we get older, our intuition takes a back burner to conditioning and social cues. This is when our third eye sleeps, and we are no longer open to experiencing other spirits in this manner. Open wide your third eye and you will see. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!